Vandana is the founder, Convanto. She is with advisory for startups, and she is an investment banker based out of India. And Tushar Kansal, he is the founder, CEO, Consultancy Ventures, Investment Management, Investment Banker. He is also into advisory for startups. And handing over to Vandana, you make your presentation, Vandana. Go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, hi everyone, and happy to see all of you here. It is my great pleasure that you have taken out your precious time to attend this keynote speaker event where I'll be speaking about the OTT platforms. I would start with a brief intro about myself. I was in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years in investment banking. I had my own family office fund there, and this is my sixth year. Apologies, this is my seventh year back in India. I did investments and then I went back to advisory. I worked as an investment banker and advisor to family offices and angel investors in Jakarta, Indonesia, helping startups from a diverse background from fintech, B2B tech, and all the way to consumer startups. I was raising funds for them and providing them with a range of services, just as Convanto does today. After 15 years of staying in Singapore and Jakarta, I came back to India. I did investments for a bit and then returned to advisory. That is when Convanto was founded. And today, Convanto is one of the most well-known boutique investment banks in India, led by a female founder. Today, I am also a venture advisor with Loyal VC, the INSEAD-led Canadian VC fund, having a core portfolio of over 160 investments in more than 35 countries. I'm also a partner with GST Venture Studios, a Silicon Valley-based venture builder. Over the years, I've arranged funding for startups and growth stage companies in diverse sectors like edutech, fintech, consumer, B2C and B2B, agri-tech, health tech, food tech, disruptive, and deep tech, as well as non-tech sectors. Please do have a look at my website for the wonderful testimonials written by my client. This month, I've been nominated as one of the top 10 women leaders in Wealth Management 2021. My expert opinion is often sought by leading business news channels and publications, like VCTV, Business World, and I've participated in 150 talks. You can easily access all these talks on YouTube channels and on my website, www.convanto.com. I'm also very thankful to Mr. Rajan for hosting me over and over again on his panel discussions. And today is my first time as a keynote speaker on his event. I'm connected with 300 plus investors globally, and I pick up global deals via sector agnostic, and typically we do $1 million to $25 million. Now, talking about OTT, I would just share my slide here. I hope all of you can see the slide. So today we are talking about emerging OTT markets insights. I've already spoken a lot about my company, Convanto. I've spoken about myself. I'm Vandana Tolani. So let's start with what is OTT. OTT is over the top. OTT refers to media service providers that stream video content like TV shows, movies via app or website over the internet instead of traditional distribution networks such as cable and DTH. Over-the-top services use an internet connection to play TV shows and movies. OTT providers have their app, website, or page where a user can log in to access the content available with the subscription anywhere and anytime. We have several examples like TVF, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Curiosity Stream. We have Woot. I think we have, so many other Spotify. Then there is Alt Balaji. There are so many of these OTT streaming network sites which we can avail. Post-pandemic, it has even risen very high. Now let's see the growth in OTT sector and market insights. The global outlook. You know, the trends of COVID-19 impact on a subscriber acquisition rates from March 2019 to 20. Global subscription growth rate for OTT video streaming companies grew 7 times in March 2020 as compared to the growth rate over the previous 12 months before March 2019-20. While the growth was evident due to the lockdowns and consumers forced to stay at home, the data highlight huge gains were from OTT platforms. As you can see over here, this graph, the consumer was spending, on digital movie purchases grew by 87% and, reached almost, these are the graphs that I have made for you to understand the global size of this market and how it increased post-pandemic and during the pandemic. Now, let's look at the Indian outlook. India is the world's fastest growing OTT market and the world's 6th largest by 2024. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought the growth of M&E industries to a screeching halt and amplified shifts and digital disruptions that would have only happened in the years to come. And we see here, there's a graph over here, which shows the media and entertainment industry of India. Now, there are 3 types of revenue models in the OTT platform. One is a SVOD, one is a TVOD, and one is a AVOD. Let's see what is an SVOD. It's a subscription video on demand model. Now, this SVOD allows users to consume as much as content as they desire at a flat rate per month, and consumers enjoy higher freedom to opt out as they aren't tied into long-term contracts. This offers greater flexibility to the users and providers of SVOD and are continually challenged with retaining consumers by providing exclusive new content, aggressive pricing schemes, and probably both. Major services include Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Hulu, as you might all already be aware as well. Now let's look at what is TVOD, transactional video on demand. In TVOD, consumers purchase content on a pay-per-view basis. There are 2 subcategories: electronic sell, through where you can pay once to gain permanent access to a piece of content; download to rent, where customers access a piece of content for a limited time for a smaller fee. And then TVOD services tend to offer more recent releases, providing holders with higher revenues and giving consumers timely access to new content. Examples are Apple iTunes, Skybox Office, and Amazon Video Store. Now, AVOD is advertising-based video on demand. AVOD is free to consumers. However, the consumers need to sit through the advertisements. Here, ad revenue is used to offset production and hosting costs. Premium content owners rarely use AVOD as it generates lower amounts of revenue than SVOD and TVOD. Examples are Dailymotion and YouTube. Now let's look at the impact of COVID on major OTT players. First is Netflix. New users due to the lockdown, there were 16 million downloads. Added 10.1 million new paid subscribers as people stayed home. And their reported net earnings were $720 million. Their revenue is $6.15 billion from just April to June. Revenue was $25 billion in 2020 and total subscribers are 203 million. Let's look at Prime Video. Prime subscribers due to the pandemic are 50 million. Amazon Prime membership reached to all-time high. Total members reached worldwide are 200 million members and the revenue is $9.91 billion in 2020. Spotify, more than 345 million users and more than 155 million subscribers. 17% growth revenue, and revenue in 2020 was $10.8 billion. Now, revenues, Disney Hotstar. I've made this special slide to explain about Disney Hotstar. Revenues from direct to consumer D2C segment increased 59%, $4 billion for the quarter from $2.5 billion last year. Their net losses reduced to $290 million from $805 million a year ago. Now they have added 625,000 new subscribers in India between April and June, and the company has more than 159 million subscribers across its streaming services Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu at the end of the quarter. Now, what are the OTT model challenges? Now, there are 6 challenges that I have derived. One is misunderstanding your audience. Definitely, when you've not understood who is your target audience, it will be a challenge for you. Using the wrong technology, showing the wrong content, and offering poor user experience, not following the trend, and not being able to managing the viewer's expectation. I think these are some of the challenges one must deeply look into in handling the OTT platforms. Now let's see some of the investor challenges. Now there are unknown risks and low market knowledge. The timing could be bad, then limited capital, startups with no proof of concept or traction, and startups with no business plans. Also, if startups don't, put their pitch deck in the right manner, made by a professional, they don't have a proper video pitch deck, they don't know their target audience, they have not vetted their business plans by an advisor, mentor, or an investment banker, then they'll face these challenges. Now let's look at some of the future trends. Consolidations and strategic partnerships. With the competition intensifying and greenfield growth becoming more challenging, OTT platforms have merged to achieve a wider consumer base. With the consolidation of OTT platforms, the consumers will also be incentivized to purchase the subscription, as now they will have to have an access to a larger content pool. Mobile will be surpassing TV to become the main growth channel for content delivery, and companies are experimenting with new models for content monetization. Now, as subscribers shall be more inclined to pay for premium content, OTT players are coming with the freemium models that provide free access to a selected content catalog to acquire new subscribers, along with premium content and services for paying subscribers to drive up the average revenue per user. So I think these are some of the future trends, and here I stop now and I hand over the platform to Mr. Tushar Kansal, who's going to take this keynote speaker event for OTT streamings further.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you everyone for seeing this event today and coming to know more about the OTT markets and OTT business. Myself, Tushar Kansal of Consultancy Ventures. We are an investment bank, and we are also a company which is into fundraising for venture capital funds. My background has been in companies like private equity practice at Deloitte & Touche, also India's largest venture capital fund by the number of deals called Brand Capital, and headed treasury at the $3 billion Russian telecom company MTS India, and was CFO with a logistics company owned by Guggenheim Partners. At Consultancy Ventures, we arrange venture capital funding, and we also arrange funding for venture capital funds. I'm empaneled with the top educational institutions in India like IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, and IIT ISM Dhanbad. So about OTTs today, I'll share my screen. So, are you able to see me? See my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about me. I have appeared in more than 150 webinars and talks since October 2020. And thank you, Mr. Rajan, for always inviting me to talk on various topics at his wonderful events. So this is about Consultancy Ventures. We also prepare documentation, which is pitch deck, valuations, and business plans. And apart from that, our investor starter kit is very popular with the founders who want to raise funding. About the OTT market, the main drivers of OTT are as you can see on the image on the right. So rural demand is driving OTT growth with the advent of Jio Wi-Fi and Jio services across India, and also with the advent of BharatNet, which is a 200,000 kilometer optic fiber laid by the government of India across villages. OTTs are seeing an uptick, and also with the COVID, people are sitting at home, so they see more content on OTTs, and even the blockbuster movies and the new shows, they are premiered on OTT. Content is the key to success. Since the last almost a year, we have been seeing regional OTT players bringing out content in regional languages, and it is kind of reaching an inflection point in India, and regional content is the key as of now. Then OTT freebies are weapons in telecom wars. So telecom companies are differentiating their offerings by bundling their service with the OTTs. A case in point is Jio, which is giving all OTTs, all the good top OTTs in India, bundled and free along with its Wi-Fi connection. So that increases the usage of the data usage, and it also increases the billing for the Wi-Fi and telecom players. Kids edutainment sector is seeing is another growth driver. We have seen how Voot came out, and it was an exclusive service for kids, and education and gamification are being merged so that education is more interesting for the kids, and that is a sector which is a sunrise sector within OTTs. Corporate learning management system is a way forward. Growth in online gaming, we'll talk about it. Then health and fitness is big.
Your slides are not moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they moving now?
No.
Okay. So which slide is there right now?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Have you clicked on present?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. Yeah, now it has moved.
Okay. I was on this slide actually.
Okay.
Thank you. So health and wellness, then sports, and production houses are going digital. So due to the pandemic situation, the average time spent by Indian OTT subscribers has increased from 20 minutes to 1 hour. And earlier in 2012, there were only 2 OTT platforms. Now there are approximately 40 platforms catering to subscribers in India. Now, why OTTs? Vandana has already covered a large part of it. But let me just throw some, give some small points which are different. So, as and when a user watches an OTT video, he gives back to the platform an amount of data. And this data on the preferences of the viewer, on how much time he spends on which show, that creates a humongous amount of data with the OTT players, and they have to analyze and refine this data to improve their offering. Now, this kind of a data-enabled offering opportunity is not available with the standard cable players, and this makes things a lot different with OTT than compared to the legacy houses. For example, uh, there was a digital subscription which was linked to Barca TV for soccer, and it's an OTT platform available in Latin America through the web and mobile app. 350 million fans were on that TV, and that data is available to Barca to analyze. And with this amount of data, FC Barcelona, the football club, can create tailor-made content for its fans. La Liga, which is another sports club, has announced that OTT activity represents 8% of its income, but going forward will be 20% by 2022 and 50% by 2025. So this shows the increase in OTT services within the larger ambit of media services. The revenues from sports media rights, they hit $85 billion in 2024, and so it is to the increase in rights of the OTT of the sports events, and the high bids put up by the OTT players is shows the way forward. Especially in India, Hotstar, which was acquired by Disney, they bid a humongous amount of almost a little bit less than $2 billion for IPL rights, Indian Premier League rights, the cricket rights, and that was itself a unheard of figure, and it showed the need for acquiring quality content by all these OTT players. Okay, one more figure which is very interesting is that in 2019, OTT represented 8% of the broadcast viewership, but 18% of the time viewed. So then in education, just to speed up things, the number of students in higher education are increasing, and another 1.3 billion are currently pursuing primary and secondary education. Now, the main aspect of the Indian education market is that nearly 85% population earns below 800,000 rupees annual income, and the expenses in private schooling have increased almost more than double from 2005 to 2015, and there is a large tuition culture which is studies outside the school, which is there in the country. So a large part of education will be focused on the need for tuitions, and within corporate training, it will include employee onboarding, ongoing training and learning, compliance training, sales enablement. And as budgets continue to shrink, OTT technologies will lower the cost of learning. So that is one trend which will catch up. The second trend is that online and blended learning will be big in OTT. The third is that OTT can support open education resources. These are resources like Go Open and Coursera, where a lot of content of premier institutes is available for free. And OTT can support this trend. And some of the specific benefits in education which OTT can bring is geo-targeting, dynamic creation, and self-selecting audience, which means that you can enroll only those students who are already comfortable in an online environment. For gaming, the concept of live game streaming became popular almost 10 years back with websites like Twitch. Today, Twitch is a live game streaming platform with over 15 million daily active users. And so a lot about sports. A Red Seer report says that sports content was the most consumed content in OTTs in 2020, almost 13% more than last year. And so, happy to discuss these points in more details in the future sections of this webinar. Right now, handing over the stage to Mr. Rajan. Thank you so much once again, and thank you all of you for coming to view. Thank you, Mr. Rajan.
Thank you. Thank you, Tushar. Thank you, Vandana, for having given a good presentation on the Indian market, focused on the Indian market, especially on the entertainment, on films, and Tushar on the education, sports, gaming focus. So these are the emerging areas which is coming up in the OTT streaming market. And thanks, Tushar and Vandana once again.
Thank you, sir.
I made a presentation before this. The slides were not moving. So I take another 5 minutes to run my slides again to give an overview of OTT streaming highlights. Hope I am visible.
Yes, sir, visible.
Visible? Okay. So I think the slides are moving. I will have to test because it was not moving before.
Can you just move a slide in so that we can confirm? Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
Okay. So I will start this again. Okay. So this is the OTT streaming emerging business models, global startups, investor e-meet. We are basically a network, startups world network. We connect tech entrepreneurs, investors, innovators for knowledge sharing and growth via social media, online publications, webinars. Our webinars are focused on COVID era times. The topics we discuss mostly on emerging business models, growth challenges, fundraising hardships for startups, investment slowdown, building traction, investment challenges. So I give you certain highlights of the current OTT streaming market, the scenario and emerging trends. The OTT mantra has long been and it remains always, that's anytime, anywhere, on any device. Rethinking strategies on the OTT streaming. Content is always king, but the queen is user experience. And OTT is growing quickly in Europe, Asia Pacific, and faster in India, which is expected to become the 6th largest OTT market globally in 2024. Pandemic has accelerated OTT adoption across education, fitness, sports, gaming, in addition to entertainment. The emerging models the new models are OTT audio streaming, which is gaining momentum across the world, including podcasts. Even NFT streaming is coming up. The current fundraising models are focused on VC funding, but the new emerging models are tokenized models, including further on SPAC M&As happening in the US market. The research shows that ad-funded streaming services is growing faster than subscription services. There is an emerging technology witnessing the rise of some exciting new OTT technologies Along with consolidation, it's smoothing out of others. That's the rise of formats like CMAF as well, which has the potential to shake things up further. So what is that CMAF? That's the holy grail of streaming in a single set of files that you can safely deliver to all target points. The most likely candidate to help achieve this is the Common Media Application Format, CMAF. So that's the emerging technology. So we as Startup-Bytes, which is the webinar is coordinated by Startup-Bytes and CTech events. Startup-Bytes into fundraising, virtual incubation, VC fund advisory, and SPAC deals. And the CTech events, which is into virtual events for global tech entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals. So current venture into SPAC deals, we are currently collaborating with the US-based retirement-focused SPAC IPO sponsors and advisors, identifying OTT streaming companies across Asia Pacific and Europe, USA, or SPAC M&A in the next 6 months. The companies which are interested to become a public company in the US market and launch it with the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. Interested OT companies kindly connect for due diligence. We have a website link, you can connect with us. So welcoming all of you back for the streaming webinar. So thank you for listening to me. And I'll go for the next fireside chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajan.
Thank you, Rajan.
So I'm ending the session here.
Yeah.